to do our masterminds around the world. I want to bring you guys with you. And I'm just telling you that not to brag, but to tell you anything's a possibility once you can do these 4 things. Just want to give you a little walkthrough on the possibility of life. I wish somebody would have done this for me, show me what was possible. I grew up in a little tiny town in Louisiana. I didn't leave there until I was 28 years old. I didn't know about traveling, didn't know about collaborating. I didn't know other people had ideas. I grew up in a refinery town, and I thought my life was destined to be basically a laborer in a refinery town. And it's crazy because I was raised by a single mother, and because I didn't have those experiences, look at this, beautiful. Is this gorgeous or what? Fantastic. To do our masterminds around the world. I want to bring you guys, whether you can afford to do this right now or not, I want to bring you with us so you can see what's possible. I can't tell you how important it has been for me in my life to see what's possible, to get a little closer to it, to first visualize it, then to see it, maybe in a magazine or on the internet. Then 3, to get a little closer to it. Like even if I had to work here as a waiter, I mean, imagine being a waiter, busboy, waitress, reception here at this property. If you grew up in poverty or lower middle class or the middle class where the money's scared, then only until you see this does it become real. A training on how to actually how to change your mindset from that scarcity mentality to an abundance mentality that so many people talk about and we hear about. That's real, by the way. You know, if you think there's little, there's little. If you think there's a lot, there's a lot. Now the question is, how do you get a little or how do you get a lot? So what I'm telling you here is I grew up with nothing. And if you grew up the way I did and you didn't grow up rich and you didn't grow up with anybody telling you how to do it or how to get to it or how to make it like I did, then you're going to have to figure it out on your own. My wealth ultimately is not the money I have. It's the knowledge I have and the belief I have in myself. The same thing for you. But I want to take you on this trip because, look, number one, you got to visualize it. You got to be able to see it in your mind like possibility. Second thing is you got to see it, you know, in the physical universe. You can explain to me what a bougainvillea is. You can explain to me what a beach is. You can explain to me what the gym looks like on the 2nd floor in Cabo San Lucas at this beautiful hotel we're at. But until I visually, physically put an image to the ocean, to the whales, to the sunshine, to the mountains, until I visually see it, it doesn't become real. I was doing a call today with Percy Miller, Master P. He grew up in extreme poverty in the projects. And he says, Grant, the first thing I had to do was I had to see it in my mind that I could get out. Second thing I had to do was see a picture of it in the physical universe. So number one, you got to see it in your mind. 2, you got to see it in the physical universe. And this also includes other people, examples of other people that are doing great things. I'm not just talking about physical manifestation. I'm not talking about stuff. I'm not talking about watches and bracelets and rings and houses and cars. I'm talking about how can you actually manifest something in the real world that you have in your mind? How do you turn an idea into reality? And these things that I'm sharing with you will make it a possibility. When you dig deep on them, though, it's like, okay, well, how do I get closer to people that are doing those things? Because the third thing is you got to get closer to the thing you want. If you want a Gulf Stream or if you want to solve the water problem on planet Earth, you're going to have to get closer, physically closer. Step on, not just see with your eyes in a magazine or on the internet. You need to put your feet in the sand, put your feet on the jet. Now that might mean that you got to go fuel jets for a while. You got to go work at an aviation company, an airport, and actually fuel them, clean them, wash them. Maybe you got to be a flight attendant on them. Put your feet next to them. Maybe you have to become a pilot. You're going to have to pay the price though. There's no free lunch here for anybody, including my children. There's no free lunch. There's no way to know what this room feels like, the expansiveness of this room, by looking at it on the internet. The moment you can get in it, it'll become even more real to you. And the fourth thing is you guys got to collaborate with other people, man. You got to get in the room with other people, whether you're serving water. If they don't invite you to sit down, then offer them money to sit down with them. If that doesn't work, offer to serve them to sit down. Okay. This is a story of my life could be wrapped up in these 4 things right here. Number 1, see it in my mind. Number 2, see it in the physical universe. Like see it in some, not physical, but in metaverse, on the internet, in a magazine, a picture of it. 3rd, get closer to it. Put your feet on it. On the plane, on the horse, on the beach, in the hotel. If I got to go work there to do it. And the 4th thing is you got to network with people that have stuff. Okay. Again, I spent some time this week with Dame Dash. She's like, look, you got to get close to the action. You got to get with the people that are making the moves. You cannot make the moves from your own neighborhood. Quit working street corners. Quit selling just a product and start hanging out with people that have scaled their ideas into a reality. Okay. These are 4 little simple tips, man. Maybe you can make the most of them. Keep in mind, I went from no money and a bunch of debt when I was 25 years old, literally no income, bad credit score, no connections, no name. And today we have $5 billion worth of real estate. That's $5 billion with a B, and a $3 billion valuation on our other companies, about $8 billion between the multiple companies. And I'm just telling you that, not to brag, but to tell you anything's a possibility once you can do these 4 things and particularly start connecting up with people. Basically, four things in depth that you have to get right, from your mental mindset all the way to the strategy of making your ideas a reality.